rail tribunal ends in deadlock. The chairman says he can't give a ruling. Britain's rising crime rate, warnings from 2 police chiefs. The teacher attacked by a pupil's mother. She's won her legal battle and says other teachers should follow her example. In America's attempted murder trial, von Bülow is found guilty on live television. Mr. Brezhnev makes a promise on missile deployment, but the West is not impressed. And the Queen goes to dinner with the Sultan. Good evening. The Railway Tribunal into the dispute between ASLEF and British Rail has tonight ended its hearing, unable to make a decision. The tribunal spent 2 days hearing evidence from all 3 rail unions and British Rail. But the chairman, Lord McCarthy, announced tonight that he and the other members of the inquiry team are now going to have to consult their assessors to decide how to get clearer evidence about the issues. The tribunal was told by Ray Buckton of ASLEF that his members would not accept flexible rostering at any price, while British Rail have repeated they will not ask the government for new investment money if they don't get their way. Here's Martin Adeney.
Well, the tribunal finished here a couple of hours ago after a day of often fierce cross-questioning. And at the end of 2 days of hearings, the 2 sides are now possibly farther apart than they've been throughout.
We said that the British Railways Board is not prepared to accept that the existing level of productivity of footplate staff is satisfactory. We're not prepared to go to government and continue to demand that the nation makes its contribution to improving the investment situation as far as we're concerned, when we are not prepared to do that thing ourselves. That we know we can do. We know we can do without detriment to the workforce. We can make these improvements. We've got to make these improvements.
The way that the British Railways Board are making these proposals, they're absolutely unworkable, and they will not be acceptable to the men. So I've got to, surely that's my job, I think, especially the tribunal, is to carefully explain to the members the feeling of the people that I represent. It's no use convincing me, as I said. They've got to convince 24,000 engine drivers, and they won't have it. This isn't politics. It isn't bloody-mindedness. It's a real feeling of practical men who's doing a real responsible job of work, who understands rostering, perhaps better than anybody else in this country.
Well, the man now left with the most unenviable job is the chairman of the tribunal, Lord McCarthy. And he concluded the tribunal with these words. Speaking of the vast differences still between the 2 sides, he said that the disputes over facts and consequences were so great, I do not feel able to decide between you on all the points you raise. Well, that, of course, leads a vast difficulty, and it looks as if Lord McCarthy and his fellow assessors may well have to travel round various depots of British Rail to get further information about the various disputed rosters. And though Lord McCarthy talks of carrying this out with the utmost possible dispatch, it must be some weeks before any kind of report can be produced.
2 chief constables have issued dramatic statements about the problems Britain's policemen are facing. Street crime in one of our most violent cities, Liverpool, went up by nearly 28% last year, the year of the Toxteth riots. Merseyside's Chief Constable, Mr. Kenneth Oxford, appealed for public support and warned, unless we can persuade people to help, we're fighting a losing battle. Mr. Oxford would not give a breakdown of the percentage of street crimes committed by blacks.